Fake! Fake! Fake grapefruits! Fake! Liar! You liar!
And he is a great liar. So is Kamala. So is Christopher Wray. So is Hakeem Jeffries. So is Hillary Clinton. So is Nancy Pelosi. So is Chuck Schumer. So is Obama. So is Michelle. Michael. I mean, they're all incredible liars. Unbelievable, but believe it, it is real. It has hit the fan, folks. And it is July the 25th, Thursday. And we're going to talk about what is going on and why you should be prepared. And what does that mean? It means having a plan, understanding all the current events, understanding some basic historical guidelines that are showing us that we're getting here. It is not a logical fallacy in the sense that it's a slippery slope. Far be it from being, well, you know, we've slipped a little. No, we've slipped a long way down, and we know right where we're at and where it's going. They're trying to take America down, folks. They're trying. And they want to take us with them. I mean, the lies are incredible. Let me start with this. Oh, before I get any further, this is the Prepared Mind channel. And I want to thank everyone who's here live. And I want to thank everybody who's gone to the preparedmind.club and signed up for premium access. What is premium access? Well, it gets you here live every day, Monday through Friday. That's what premium access does. But it also supports the channel. That's what the premiums go to, supporting what we do and how we do it. And I come here every single day, except for the occasional, Saturdays, of course, but, every single day. Saturday, I'm still thinking. Saturday, the mind is still active. But I'll tell you what, this is what we do. And I come and I tell you exactly what the hell is going on according to reputable news sources, even though mainstream media won't touch half the shit I'll touch. To them, it's the third rail. The third rail. But to me, it's what we should be talking about, like the southern border. That's right, the Mexican-American border being overrun or overflown by Biden and Kamala Harris. She is now the figurehead. She is now the face of the Democrat Party. That's right, the cackling, giggling freak who is the border czar. Right? And they tried denying that. The mainstream media, they expect us to believe that? Well, get this. Democrat dumbass leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, says Camel Toes Harris has earned the Democratic nomination from the grassroots up, not from the top down. Well, Kamala knows everything there is to know about going down. She's gone down as a candidate. She's gone down as a girlfriend of Willie Brown and, well, anyone else she needed to get herself to the top. Anyways, grassroots vote. Let's just examine Hakeem Jeffries. The lies that come from the government, partisans, media, bureaucrats, street Democrats all around us. Grassroots vote for her, folks. The grassroots for Kamala Harris was 1%. 1%. That's what she won in the Democrat primaries. 1% of the vote. So Hakeem's claim that she earned it sounds like a stack of Hakeem shit with some of Chuck Schumer's cheese on top of it. It's lies. All lies. But this is what we're going to get. Lies. We got lies from Biden. I mean, incredible Biden. I've done so well as the president that I've just decided to step down. That is now the excuse. That is now the justification. He is so magnanimous. He's done everything he wanted to do in destroying America, so he's done. He's just going to walk away from it. Didn't we hear from Nancy Pelosi's mouthpiece, right? Someone who is authorized to leak the information, that Biden was given an ultimatum. We can do this the hard way, or you can do this the easy way. You're going to quit. Are we just supposed to forget that? Understand also, folks, that sort of attitude is the Democrat attitude. The same attitude Joe Biden showed you, your spouse, your kids, your parents, your friends, your coworkers, all of America, when he said, you need to go out and get that vaccine. My patience is wearing thin. Remember that? Oh, no, we didn't make anyone do. We didn't tell anyone they have to. No, we're just gonna threaten you, destroy your life, take your job, take your contracts, take your benefits, deny you access to medical health care, which is supposed to be a human right, according to Barack Hussein Barry Soetoro Obama. Fucking liars, liars, and liars. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, but believe it. A hot Hakeem stack of shit. Oh, she earned it. How did she earn it? What did she do to earn it? Well, she didn't protect the border as the borders are. What else has Kamala done for the last several years? Besides giggle and cackle at people's misfortune. Unbelievable. But believe it, folks, these people are liars, and they will lie right to your face. Every single day, they will lie right to your face. Now, speaking of bureaucrats and partisans and lying in a filthy, despicable, communist partisan move, Chris Wray, who is the director of the FBI, it's supposed to be a nonpartisan post, right? Your job is to enforce the law, to investigate crime, to make arrests. You know what he wanted to do? He decided he was going to cast doubt on whether Trump was actually hit by a bullet from the assassin. Do you see why this is just another contributing piece, a contributing example of the government out of control and how it thinks of you? Remember, if they're gonna doubt Trump, if they're gonna crap on Trump, imagine how bad they will doubt you, come after you and me, and destroy our rights. Right? So the FBI director has the unmitigated balls to question the injury received by President Trump at the hands of an assassin and his conspiracy that might just involve the FBI and the deep state. So instead of investigating the crime, he has attacked the man, Trump. Ad hominem attack. Destroy the man, ignore the message. Their message is destroy the man, ignore the assassination. If they're willing to try and assassinate Trump and then not investigate it and then accuse him of some sort of assassination fraud, look, I understand dumbass Democrats on the street. I understand partisan, low-life, piece of shit politicians. I get it. They're allowed their opinions. But the FBI is going to doubt it? He got his fucking head pierced by a bullet. Has Chris Wray taken a bullet for the country? I tell you, folks, this is a serious indicator of the trust we should have in the government. And if the government is thinking like this, me and you, we better be very, very, very aware, careful, and prepared. So yeah, you need to be prepared in your head based on everything that's going on out here. And you also need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Now, is Kamala Harris really the candidate that Democrats need? No, she isn't. They need someone like Trump. But she is the candidate they deserve because she is a perfect example of them. Their complete ignorance, their complete ridiculous stupidity, unbelievable. But believe it, folks, it's no longer a joke. It's not just clown world. These people have power and authority. Now, for VP, Vice President Kamala Harris, guess what? She has been unendorsed as the candidate for president by the quote, well, it doesn't require a quote, this real organization, the Fraternal Order of Police. That's right. The vice president for the Fraternal Order of Police has warned that Kamala Camel Toes on her knees Harris would be, and here's your quote, she would be an unmitigated disaster for public safety in this country. Now, what is unmitigated? I used it when I described Chris Ray a moment ago. Unmitigated means nothing is done to stop her. Nothing can be done to stop the disaster. She would be an unstoppable disaster, an unmitigated disaster for public safety in this country. Public safety. You and me, we're the public. He says if she becomes president, yeah, an unmitigated disaster will follow. Now, why would the vice president for the Fraternal Order of Police say such a thing about Twinkle? I got to be careful with the names I use to describe her. Stretch marks around the mouth, Kamala Harris. I want you to recall, if you will, that Camel Toes told protesters, BLM, protesters, Antifa, protesters, college dropouts, protesters who were agents provocateur, hired protesters who were getting money to protest. Remember, if you will, that Camel Toes, Kamala Harris, told protesters to keep doing what they were doing back in 2020. She said, don't stop. Now, what were they doing? They were burning, looting, murdering, and they were assaulting police left and right, and police did die. Police were physically injured. Police were blinded by laser attacks. Police were attacked with explosive fireworks shells. They had water bottles thrown at them that were frozen. They had rocks and bricks thrown at them as well. Kamala Harris, vice president now, wannabe president in 2024, told protesters to continue to assault police, burn private businesses, loot businesses, assault and attack police, citizens, everybody. Yeah, Kamala is a shitbag. And I believe the Fraternal Order of Police has a pretty good grasp of reality. Pretty good grasp of it, wouldn't you say? I have no doubts. I'll go, folks, it is that bad. She has been rated out of, before she became vice president, all 100 U.S. senators. She was noted. She was awarded the prize for being known as the most socialist senator in the entire U.S. Senate. That's right. She gets the coveted Silver Sphincter off of the Horse's Ass Award. What is socialism, folks? Socialism is another word for communism. The only difference between the two is a communist is in a big hurry, whereas a socialist is not. But they want the same things. And that's what Kamala wants. She wants socialism, a political, economic, social system that steals wealth from producers and gives to those who don't. And the government assumes full authority over everybody. Everybody, folks, everybody. Now, let's see. I've covered the politicians a little. I've covered the bureaucrats a little. How about this? How about teachers? Well, the anti-American leader of the American Federation of Teachers. That's right. There's a union called the American Federation of Teachers. So the anti-American leader of the American Federation, named Randy Weingarten, she has asked Federation members not to protest Kamala Harris, not to heckle her, not to put her down, not to attack her, not to. It's funny. Funny, why would a bunch of left-wing socialist scumbags in school want to protest Kamala Harris? I don't know. But I don't have any respect for teachers. Individual teachers, yes. Teachers in general, no. Unions, no. Isn't it funny how teachers molest children, rape children? That's right, rape, folks, rape. They molest them, they rape them, they expose them to sexual perversions, they expose them to sexual pornography, having to do with the LGBTQIA plus crowd. They coerce children to cut off their genitals and take physiological destroying drugs. And now the American Federation of Teachers is worried about politics. I really don't believe that teachers should have a say in politics. But here we are. They truly do. They truly do. I do. I don't think it's funny. I just think, I don't want to use the word funny, meaning ha ha. It's disgusting how teachers molest, rape, and coerce children to cut off their genitals, expose them to drag queens, expose them to homosexual anal sex and other perverted cartoon books in schools. And they think it's fucking cute. They do. Now, while we're talking about camel toes, there is an impeachment effort out for her. Funny how that hasn't made it all the way through the House. It should be rather quick. The same way Joe Biden should have been impeached day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11. Yeah. Over 1,000 times, I think old Joe should have been impeached. But what they did do is they legislatively condemned Kamala Harris as the border czar for allowing the illegal invasion of our country by millions of people. And guess what? Not only did the Republicans pass it, but 6 Democrats joined them for keeping the border open. Now, I think they should impeach the BJ VP in chief, Camel Toes Harris. But I will bet you dollars to donuts that all 6 of those House Democrats, House of Representative Democrats, all 6 of them are on the hot seat. That they're close. They could lose their seats because of what Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Alejandro Mayorkas, dickhead in charge of the Department of Homeland Security, have done to this nation. They're afraid of losing their seats. So they want to condemn Kamala Harris and the illegal invasion that she has allowed. Hell, if she's going to allow Black Lives Matter and Antifa to attack police, burn businesses, loot stores, and murder people, as well as attack and murder police, then yeah, why not leave the border open and facilitate the entrance into our country for undocumented terrorists? Have no doubts, folks. It is just begun. You think Joe Biden was bad? Think Joe Biden was bad? Oh, there's more to it than that. Way more to it than that. It's not going to get better. No, and no. It's going to get worse. We've got a long way to go, folks, before we're all the way down. Now, I reported, I believe, in the Zero Dark 30 this morning, that the FBI, through its mouthpiece lying sack of shit, Chris Wray, and I have every right to be angry. And I have every right to condemn these people. And I have every right as freedom of speech. I have every right to examine them and to express myself and my displeasure and disgust in these people. But Chris Wray, piece of shit that he is, actually admitted that the FBI, at least a couple of agents, he said, expressed publicly their sorrow that Trump was not assassinated. Isn't that funny how within just a few breaths of that, he says, well, I'm going to paraphrase. Well, I don't know if that was really a bullet that went through his fucking ear. Anyways, I have the name of one of the people in the FBI who have expressed disappointment in the assassination attempt being foiled. Her name is Jenna Howell, JennaHowell, an FBI agent, no doubt a liberal socialist piece of shit. She needs to be fired instantly. I think they should call her slimy ass to Congress and then charge her with contempt for authority and more. They're truly disgusting. Now, me, I'm a private citizen. I can express disgust, dislike, displeasure, or the opposite of those things for anyone in the country I wish, whether they're government or not. But Jenna Howell has taken an oath to uphold the Constitution, to defend it and protect it from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And what has she done? She's expressed disappointment that a criminal didn't exercise properly his skills and kill the president. If they can find a crime in Trump going through the proper business channels to get a loan and pay it back with interest, I don't know how this bitch hasn't committed treason with her statements. It's sick. It really is just sick. There were at least 2 instances, says Chris Wray, where FBI officials have expressed disappointment. I think that there should be multiple inquiries into this from the Congress, the House of Reps, the Senate. There should be independent investigations. I don't know. What do they call that? Oh, yeah, the Department of Justice should be looking into this. There should be special counsel looking into this. If FBI agents are willing to express this publicly, then is it such a stretch to believe that they could be involved willingly in a conspiracy to have Trump shot? Remember, there was a conspiracy within the deep state, within the CIA, Hillary Clinton, Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the FBI, James Comey, Chris Wray, Ruby Rod Rosenstein, Peter Strzok, the evil elf, his whole bag, Page, that they wanted an insurance policy, a program. They wanted to discredit Trump and attack him. Is it a stretch to believe that they would support and even participate in an assassination attempt? So much so that if it fails, they come out publicly, impugn the president's credibility, the credibility of the hospital, the doctors, the witnesses, the people who were killed at that fucking rally. It's not just callous. It's not just partisan. It's the state of the nation, the state of our union, when government and Democrats wish death like this. Oh, it's going to get fucking worse. Now, back with the teachers. I mentioned the fruitcakes. Teachers with their pink, green, blue, purple, red hair, any color that shouldn't or should be on their head isn't. These fucking freaks who are attacking children, their morals, their innocence. They're freaks. They're LGBTQIA rainbow flag fruitcakes. And they're not done, folks. They're not giving up. They're not going away. In fact, one of the biggest sensations on the internet, Mr. Beast, says this, quote, "I am disgusted." And his longtime buddy, Chris Tyson, who is and has come out publicly as a transgender. Well, there are allegations of sexual contact that was made with a child. That's right. Inappropriate messages, probably trying to lure a child for sexual meeting and sexual gratification. Chris Tyson, longtime good buddy of Mr. Beast, he has cut his ties with this fruitcake. Has the world learned yet that they are all sexual criminals looking for a victim, looking for a child to molest or even rape? And I'm going to tell you what I do applaud. I applaud people out there who are doing sting operations to get these perverts arrested, pretending that they are a little girl or little boy and that they're willing to meet these absolute degenerate freaks and expose them for who they are and what they are. Mr. Beast says, "I am disgusted. Welcome to the party, pal." Chris Tyson, transgender, wannabe child molester. Don't forget it. And speaking of these fucking freaks, at the Paris Olympics, you know how when they run with the torch and they bring the torch and then they light the big torch? Well, the flame relay in this Olympics features not one, not two, but 3 drag queens. That's right, the fruit salad freaks are now getting international attention and fame, while France is being overrun, overridden, and burned by anti-Christian, anti-French, murdering thugs. Plus, by the way, women were removed from the run to make room for perverted freaks. And I didn't know that the newest Olympic sport was being a sexual deviant. Oh, by the way, people are being robbed, stolen from, and yes, even raped. And the Olympics haven't even started yet. Just wait. I don't know why anyone would want to go anywhere near the fucking Olympics. Right? You got guys with their weenies hanging out in the locker room, scaring women, and then competing with them in sports. How fucking sad is that? These people are pathetic. 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 They can't even impeach Joe Biden for abandoning Americans, the military, our bases, our equipment, bombs, rockets, missiles, helicopters, tanks, fucking ammunition, guns that we're not supposed to have, and giving that to the Taliban, letting our servicemen and women get murdered by terrorists by not responding to reports that bombers are coming. How many other crimes? How many crimes does Biden have to commit before he is thrown out of office? No, it's better to let him just stay in there and keep fucking the country up, right? Right, Maggot Johnson? Assholes. Assholes. Okay, let's do this. It's almost time. By the way, before we get to the inner circle, which is you guys, get this, folks. World War III update. Apparently, the U.S. military has intercepted Chinese and Russian fighter jets near Alaska. This happened prior to Biden's Oval Office address. Why would they do this? Were they provoked, the Chinese and the Russians? Or is it made up bullshit, plastic banana, good time, rock and roll, fake news to distract Americans and think of Russia and China as enemies? Now, they were intercepted near Alaska. Does that mean they were in international airspace and they were getting close, so we scrambled jets who went there to meet them? That's pretty common. That's pretty common, right? Well, they're getting close. Do we wait till they're on top of us and bombing the shit out of us, or should we scramble jets because they're making a move towards us? Well, the news wants you to believe that it's World War III and it's right there at the corner. It's a bunch of crap. In my opinion, that's a bunch of crap. An awful amount of crap. Well, we're at the bottom of the hour, or rather the top of the hour. We're at the half-hour mark. So let's do this. Let's go to the inner circle and your questions, your thoughts. What is on your mind? All right, I'm anticipating a lot of good stuff out there. We got the usual suspects, I know, and they have really good stuff, folks. I'm glad we have such great content producers out there in the audience. And if you want to join us live, all you have to do is go to thepreparedmind.club and sign up for premium services, and that'll get you in the door every single day. Mr. Uman, let's start with some good stuff. What do we want to do? And we're going to start with Uman himself. He says a judge has ruled Trump's defamation lawsuit against ABC News Network and George Stephanopoulos can move forward. I find this fascinating. A woman, is her name Jean Carroll? Not very attractive in my book. Certainly not as attractive as Melania Trump. A woman who has demonstrated she has incredible sexual hang-ups and perverse thoughts, as indicated by her appearances on television, making everything, including her rape fantasies, public knowledge. Decided she wanted to sue Trump in a defamation lawsuit. And it went to court, it went to trial, and she was awarded millions and millions and millions of dollars with no evidence, no witnesses, no proof whatsoever. And so Trump wants to have a defamation lawsuit against ABC and George Stephanopoulos. And it has to have a judge allow it. I just don't understand. I think our country's lost its fucking mind. Right? Oh, by the way, Trump is going to have a field day. He should be able to sue, well, everybody who has questioned him being shot through the fucking ear by an assassination attempt, right? The bullet. I mean, if Alex Jones can lose $1.3 billion for questioning the veracity and the story told by mainstream media regarding the Sandy Hook shootings, I think Trump might just have a case. All right. Thank you, Mr. Uman. I don't know if there's anything we're going to talk about today that hasn't or won't or will not in the future piss me off, but that's okay. That's okay. And at the end of the show here, of course, I'm going to check the news real quick, see what we missed in the last 60 minutes or so. And we'll go with that. For now, though, let's do some more. Your questions, comments, thoughts, and statements. Name redacted. He's calling her Cammy. Isn't that fucking cute? Oh, Cammy, meaning camel toes. And if you mispronounce her name, that is racist. If you mispronounce her names, that's hate speech. All right, Cammy, Camalama, ding dong down your throat, camel toes. He says Cammy was raised steeped in Marxism. She was embedded, embroiled by, surrounded by Marxism, which is pure, unadulterated, evil socialism that would well up around and surround your soul. Anyone who's a communist, folks, has no soul, or they've sold what soul they had. So he is saying that Camalama Ding Dong was raised surrounded by Marxism, just like Barry Soetoro. Oh, who's Barry Soetoro, you say? Well, that's Barack Obama's assumed name. He had an alias. My name has always been John. That's never changed, right? It's never changed. But he was gone by Barry Soetoro while he, snorted cocaine. These players were made for this time. Yes, they were. And they're not the only ones. Look, they're uninteresting, uncharming, anti-American, evil pieces of shit. And Name Redacted says evil deliberately cultivates their descendants. Yes, they do. The parents of Kamala, evil. I mean, if you follow Black Lives Matter, then you know that any family that ever had any slaves were evil. Well, Kamala Harris's father, her daddy, her patriarch, if you will, right, is the descendant of notorious slavers in Jamaica. These players were made for this time. Barry Soetoro, yep, his mama apparently had no problem sleeping with really shitty, nasty men and made it a point to do so as she traveled around the world. America, Hawaii, Indonesia, Kenya. Where else did this hoe of a communist stop? Who knows? But yeah, so Barack Obama was exposed, indoctrinated, and he's learned to be the sneakiest piece of shit you can imagine, pretending to be an American while despising and hating everything there is about America. And Camel Toes, good God, she's got it. You know, I don't know, what does she take, stupid pills or retard pills? I can't wait. Bring on the debates. And once again, as I said this morning, unbelievably, the mainstream media is attempting to show in graphics Trump, Kamala, she's leading in the polls. Really? The vice president under Joe Biden, who has done absolutely nothing except allow the country to be invaded, and of course promote violence and abortion. She's going to beat Trump. Americans want that. Who gives a shit about high fuel, high food, the cost of everything going up? Who cares about that? We want abortions, open border, and war. That's why we want Kamala, right? Okay, I don't think so. If you don't laugh, you just might explode. Your head might explode. All right, man, where are we going to roll next? And it is Mr. Chin Music. And he says, I've never understood how being half white makes you all black. She's not even half black, Kamala. In fact, the whole concept of race, anyone who has any phenotypical characteristics, shall we say, extremely curly hair, pronounced facial features, or that makes you black. I don't get it either. There's people out there, obviously, who are less than half black, and they claim to be black. Have you seen Vin Diesel? I believe that there's a claim that Vin Diesel is black. Every time I look at Vin Diesel, he looks like a white guy to me. Why is he black? Mariah Carey, isn't she black? Well, Joy Reid of MSNBC, she's got white blonde hair. Oh, wait, she dyed that. That was just a misappropriation of Scandinavian hair. Very offensive in my book. Very offensive. Yeah, it's a way to divide people. I mean, talk about people who can change teams whenever they want, right? Today I'm black. Today I'm white. Today I'm black. Today I'm white. Today I'm an Eskimo. If I told you people, just here on the Prepared Mind channel, but if I told you people that I was Chinese, could I make that claim? Well, one of my drill instructors in boot camp made fun of me and said I looked like I was Chinese. Now, I was not offended, folks. Was not offended. But 6'3", and at the time I was only 165 pounds. Young man and all. I wasn't offended because he said I look Chinese. I was confused. I was like, nobody has ever made that accusation or assertion. Not that there's, I don't think I look Chinese, right? But supposing I did, how about this? Another friend of mine that I grew up with went to high school. He became a United States Marine also. His name was Johnny Wang. Wang. Uh, Chinese? No. He was actually Norwegian. It's a Norwegian name. I knew another guy named Kevin Bang. Kevin Bang. He was a ginger Norwegian. Yeah, this race crap needs to end. It really does. I listened to some fucking idiot the other day because I wanted to learn something about the way other people think, right? And he started describing people who were credible to him if they were melanated. Meaning they have the ability to tan. It's just it's race baiting. It's playing the race card. It's really weak. It's really weak. It's really weak. Anyways, they're not going to go away. They're not going to quit. They're not going to stop because shit has hit the fan and they're in desperation, folks. Right? When you're about to win or lose a battle, people get desperate. And right now, you and I, us, real Americans, patriots, veterans, sportsmen, constitutionalists, Americans, we're on the cusp of taking this country back. Not from the deep state, but the heart and soul of the country. And when we have the heart and soul of the country back, never mind the 40% Democrat scumbag sleazes out there, but when we get control, then we can say, now go, we can tell our representatives this, go to Washington, D.C., and clean that fucking shithole up. It is beyond a cesspool. Swamp is too kind of a word. There's a lot of problems, folks. A lot of problems. A lot of people out there need a cordless hole puncher to deal with their bullshit. All right, let's continue if we shall. Thank you, Mr. Uman, for being patient out there as always. Woo! And we've got Mr. Diving Frog. And he said, John, did you see where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had a moment of clarity and is speaking out against the bullocks? Yes, I did. It was brought to my attention by very, very, very close people in my life. And they said, did you hear what AOC said? She actually made sense. Well, she went after the former now head of the Secret Service because they didn't deal with someone who had a gun properly. So it was funny. She actually made an articulate, intelligent point. But in order to do so, she had to attack the Secret Service woman in charge. I was surprised. And you know what it told me? That she didn't say those words. That was not AOC. AOC, like every other congressperson, is up for re-election. Every 2 years, they have to get out and lie to everybody. So what she did is she went to her staffers and said, look, I need to sound like I'm not a fucking retard. Right? I need to stop being accused of being a liar 24/7. Give me something smart to say that I can read so I don't sound like a freaking idiot. And so someone with half a brain wrote an intelligent set of statements and a question so she could look and sound good to her constituents. AOC is the woman I've described, can eat an apple through a rough sawn picket fence and not get any splinters in her lips. Right? She is an absolute moron, an abject troglodyte. And you can't see, a moment of clarity and it passed. Don't worry, she's still the same old person she's ever been. Dumb as a box of rocks. All right. Thank you, Mr. Uman. Thank you for that diving frog. And it's Heidi 12. And would you look at this? Heidi 12 says she got a ticket to the Trump rally in St. Cloud, I believe is in Minnesota, for Saturday. Heidi, I think you should go to the Trump rally in St. Cloud. I don't think you should go to a Trump rally in Washington, D.C. But I'll say this, please be careful. Now, I do know that Heidi is a unassuming, very nice and polite person. She is non-threatening. And so she should be fine. Now, on the way in and the way out, I think Heidi can report to us the quality, the attitude, if you will, of protesters. That's what I'm interested in doing. And I think Heidi is going to be our person on the ground at McLeod. Or, I'm sorry, St. Cloud. I had a little Highlander moment there. Pardon me. McLeod! Okay, anyways, enjoy the rally. Tell us, I would hope that you could tell us about the energy level of the participants as well as the energy level of the protesters. But please make sure you aren't alone at any point, because they attack old people. They attack young people. They attack men, women, children. It doesn't matter. If you're alone, they will attack you. One of these days, folks, one of these days, I'll get to meet some of these fucking idiots. And it's going to be a hell of a shit show. But for you, Heidi, I wish you safe passage to and from. And I hope that it really inspires you and helps you see the goodness in America. And you will also see the ugly of America as Democrats protest outside with their various colored hairs, facial tattoos, facial piercings, obscene language, gestures, posters, and let them know that I said they can go fuck themselves. All righty, let us travel on, if we shall, Mr. Uman. And we got James Nicholson checking in. He says, I got a question, John. Do you think we have ever been closer to World War III with nuclear weapons than we are now under this administration? The answer is yes, we have been, in my opinion, Mr. Nicholson. And my opinion is based on conversations with a retired Army major who spent many, many, many years in the Army in Germany. And he said that back in the late 70s, there was an incident between the United States and the Soviet Union, when it was communist Russia, the Soviet Union, that if it were not for just a handful of people who would rather not have a nuclear war than other, he said that it was that close. Just a few more bad thoughts, decisions, it would have been over. Now, I believe that story because I know the man, and he could make up any number of stories, but why would you make up that one? We discussed it at length, the names of the political leaders. And it was largely at this time, this is a pre-Gorbachev, who was the source of the problem. His disastrous hatred of America almost got us there. And prior to that, it was Nikita Khrushchev putting nuclear missiles in Cuba, the Cuban Missile Crisis under John F. Kennedy. So back in 62, 63, that era, before Kennedy took a shot to the head. And there was an attempt there also by Kennedy. After stopping the Cuban Missile Crisis, he actually wanted to join forces with the Soviet Union in our space programs and explore space peacefully. That was another thing that pissed off the military-industrial complex, the Pentagon, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and everyone else that didn't want peace. And isn't it funny that while the Russians were still the Soviet Union, guess what? We had joint space exploration. And I'm not talking just about the supposed top secret Apollo missions, 18, 19, and 20, but rather even after that, with the Space Lab and other things. All the way up until, well, yeah, even after the Ukraine war started, we still have joint space missions. Anyways, yes, we've been closer a couple of times, James, but they're now pushing for it. And the claim by some idiots in think tanks in Washington that you can have a nuclear war and actually win is quite an awful thing. I tell you. And chin music, in order to demonstrate the abject stupidity of both Kamala Harris and AOC, has sent to me a very popular meme. And it has both Kamala Harris and AOC. And Kamala Harris says, "I've slept with a Brazilian." And AOC says, "Oh my God, how many is a Brazilian?" I've been enjoying that one for the last couple of days. Thank you, Mr. Chin Music. I couldn't resist. Anyways, Mr. Uman, where else are we going to go? We've got some more stuff. We're at 52 minutes in. And Uman has something he wants to talk about. He has that special, unique privilege. I won't call it white privilege, though. I will call it moderator's privilege. All right, he says, anyone seeing the evacuations because of fires in Canada? Is that a I'm just reading what was written, man. Traffic is at a standstill. One reason I say, if you're going to bug out, get out before everyone else gets the same idea, or wait until it's clear. Yeah, things like this, emergencies. When entire areas are going to try and evacuate, gridlock. I'm down here in Florida now, as I've told you guys. I came to the South, moved into Florida, and I talked to people about hurricane evacuation. And it's kind of a special thing, right? They said, well, one time we tried evacuating from the West Coast over to the East Coast, and the highways were jam-packed. And by the time we finally made it to the East Coast, the hurricane had changed paths and was more threatening to the East Coast than the West Coast. I am not afraid of hurricanes, folks. Not in the least. It's because nature has tried killing me many times with hurricanes, snowstorms, floods, flash floods, frozen rivers, glaciers. It's not that hurricanes are cute and fuzzy, and I do understand they're incredibly destructive. But you can definitely mitigate emergencies, and that is why when it comes to prepping and bugging out, you need to have a solid plan and understand where you live. Rural, and you need to bug out a little more, not as much of a big deal as living in a big city where millions of people want to bug out and clog the highways and start a shooting war on the interstate. Crazy stuff. Wait until it's clear? Okay. I tell you, folks, maybe being in the cities is the safest place for SHTF, Mad Max, World War III stuff. Why? Because everyone's going to leave. There's no reason to go anywhere. Everyone else is left. Holy shit. You got your choice of mansions, automobiles. You might even get your own airplanes. Get yourself a luxury yacht like Zark Muckerberg. Anyways, good stuff there. Good stuff there. By the way, did you know that the assassin who failed, Ms. Crooks, he made not one, not two, but 3 bombs, explosive devices. And guess what? They had remote detonation capability. And this idiot, this punk with apparently mental issues, there was no online search for bomb making in his computer. So somehow, without looking into the internet, he was able to come up with an assassination plot, make several bombs with remote detonation capability. No. It sounds like he was given everything, folks. He was given the bombs and the detonators. They were not made by him. No one can just make a bomb, much less make a bomb with remote detonation systems. You need an education. It's not like you sit down one night and go, I'm going to try some new chicken cacciatore recipe. And they get done in the kitchen and like, oh man, I tried making chicken cacciatore and somehow I made a bomb with a remote detonator. I don't know how that shit happened. I was just thinking about some wires and stuff. All of a sudden I've got a bomb. That's not how it works. In order to make explosives, you have to get the information from someone else. Unless you're going to spend a lifetime, and even then you're going to talk to other people and go, yeah, black powder, what's that made out of? Gunpowder, black powder, nitrocellulose, fulminated mercury. Where do I get this stuff? What's it made out of? Humans, you're either taught by someone else, very complicated chemistry, or you read books. Or someone just gives you the bomb and says, here's a plan, go to that building, take your ladder, take your rifle, climb up, do this, shimmy up the roof, and try and shoot the guy who's got a lot of orange hair. Right? We're in that world. And guess what, folks? We've got just a couple minutes left. Time to check the internet and see what has happened in the last hour. Is it a lot? Is it a little? I don't know. We're going to find out right now. Let's see. Senator Chuck Grassley has released more footage to confuse people about the aftermath of the Trump assassination. Oh, yeah. Ratsburnberger, supposed Republican in Georgia, says, oh, yeah, we're after 4 fucking years, we're going to allow you to inspect the missing ballot images. Of course, there's a huge caveat, right? But if they were missing, how did they find them? Okay, let's try this one. Pro-life conservative activist Bevelyn B.T. Williams has been sentenced to 3 years. You know what she did? She protested at an abortion clinic, and they accused her of blocking the entrance. Oh, by the way, pro-life conservative activist Bevelyn B.T. Williams is also black. Can't a black person protest without getting arrested? What is this, the 1960s when the Democrats were trying to deny blacks their civil rights? Well, I tell you what, I think that this law is a complete abomination. That you cannot protest outside of an abortion clinic. If there's anything in this country that should be protested, it's the taking of life from an innocent human being that is supposedly developing in one of the most sacred places that women used to say is the womb. Crazy stuff. Now, wow. Elon Musk funded the lawsuit by Gina Carano, who was the Mandalorian actress. Well, she has won her lawsuit against Disney. Wow, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I'm glad she won. I'm very sad that anyone goes to jail for exercising a First Amendment right. People who are getting an abortion are committing a fucking crime. And guess what? That crime is being facilitated by the state, the government, which protects the entrance. What if you protested a block away? What if you protested 10 miles away? Is that blocking them? What if you didn't go through a yellow stoplight and you stopped early in order to not run a red? And behind you was someone going to the abortion clinic. Are you blocking them from getting to the abortion clinic? It's just the whole fucking system is out of its mind. And I'm going to leave it at that. I want to thank everyone. Tomorrow's Friday. Friday, free for all Friday. I'll do my Zero Dark 30 free for all Friday tomorrow afternoon with you guys. The internet appears to be working at the top secret location of the Prepared Mind bunker. And then Sunday night will be Sunday Night Live. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Some crazy, weird, and wild shit is going to happen this weekend. Is Biden going to die? Is Kamala Harris going to say something really fucking stupid that disqualifies her from being president? Is Obama going to step out and say, I'm going to be on the ticket? I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Me and my husband, Michael, are going to be there, right? They really need the LGBTQ crowd on the ticket, folks, to be truly Democrat now. They need more diversity, equity, and inclusion on that ticket. I mean, really, where's the homosexual representation in the Democrat Party for the presidential election? You see, only they could ask that kind of a question with a straight face and some sort of intellectual legitimacy on their part. That's how fucking stupid they are these days. We need more representation of people who are a tiny, insignificant minority because they're underrepresented. So we need to put them at the very top so they can infect the rest of the world with their nonsense. There it is, folks. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed, God bless America, and Semper Fi.